Hello, my name's Lori Michelle, and this is the weekly program of Running on Love with God. I was awakened to the voice of God, our Creator, in April of 2009, and now here I am, all these years later, broadcasting from Israel, where I live. I'm here tonight with my friend Anna Marie, who lives in Chicago. Hi, Anna Marie. And Anna Marie co-hosts with me weekly these programs, and she asks brilliant questions to go deeper into very important topics. And tonight's topic is about free will. And I named this program, Do We Have Free Will? Are We All Puppets in God's Play? And I posted a picture on Facebook that got over 1,000 likes and hearts. I know it's momentous because it's the first time we went over 1,000 people liking, maybe 1,200 people liking this post. And here's what it said. It says, freedom or marionettes, free to choose, but he decides. God always wins. And that's what the topic is about. It's about free will. And are we puppets in God's play? We come into this world with a life plan. And it's something that we agreed to before we get here. But when we get here, our conscious mind is erased and we don't remember why we're here or where we came from. We have amnesia, so to speak. And the reason for this is we're being tested and we're here to learn and ascend and choose in every single moment. And while we have a plan that we came here with, we're free to choose in every moment. But while we have freedom to choose, he decides, we choose, and then he decides what the outcome will be. And our world admittedly looks like complete chaos right now, like nobody knows which end is up. The leaders look like they're crazy and they're leading us into the abyss. And it looks like there's no intelligence behind all of this. But I assure you, I speak to our Creator in plain, everyday English. And he is beyond description. He's pure magnificence. And there is an intelligent plan behind all the chaos that we see. And with that, I'm going to turn the floor right over to you so that you can ask your brilliant questions and we can go deeper into this very important topic.
I'm going to start by feeding your brilliant questions back to you. In your introduction, you wrote, while it looks like chaos, our Creator is behind everything that comes into our world. So why does it look like complete mayhem? Who's truly making these decisions that affect us all?
We all are. We all choose in every moment. We come here in a body, a vessel, and we are a spirit. That's who we truly are. I have this body, and yesterday actually, I turned 58 years old. So am I this 58-year-old woman, or was I an 18-year-old woman? Which one is Lori Michelle? Both are Lori Michelle, but this is just the vessel, the vehicle, the mechanics that I journey in. Who I really am is a soul, a spirit made of the same stuff that Hashem God's made out of. And so there's a duality. I'm a body, I'm a physical vessel, but who I truly am is a soul. And I journey here with a life plan that I agreed to before I ever got here. But consciously, I don't remember. I feel my way through life. And there are times when we stumble upon things and it just feels like the right thing. It feels like that's my purpose. That's my job. That's my soulmate. And it's our soul really talking to us. And sometimes things are going wrong and we feel depressed. That's also your soul talking to you, that maybe you're not on purpose. You've lost your way. So we are here, and the chaos that's being created is due to all of our collective choices. In every moment, we're choosing between who we really are, our soul, the goodness that we come from, and something called the Yetzer Hara, or the evil inclination. And we have this duality. We have to choose in every moment, good, God, or evil, the evil inclination. And we're being tested. And right now, humanity is failing miserably.
You said a few minutes ago that there truly is an intelligent plan behind everything.
Yes.
If that's the case, then that implies that we are puppets, that we aren't really free to choose. If there's a plan that we're all adhering to.
Why would that be so? Every good project has a good plan and a project manager, right? Or there's no success. When you build a house, you have a blueprint. Or how do you build the house, right? So
Right.
just because we have a plan and there's a master and a master plan that we're following doesn't mean that we don't have free will, and doesn't mean that it's not good and that we are puppets. We have choices every step of the way.
Then is part of the plan to choose the world leaders? For example, did God decide that President Trump should be president at this point in history? Or is that the free will of the American people and the Electoral College?
He's telling me to answer it's both. So a lot of times when I ask him a question, it's both. The answer is both. When you talk about the existence of evil, evil can also be considered good. Why? Because the choice is good. If there were no evil, there would only be goodness, and we would be little God robots and nothing to decide upon. So the existence of evil is innately good. It was created on purpose by God himself so that we could choose and we wouldn't be little God robots. The existence of these leaders and the choice of, for example, Donald Trump becoming president was his desire. And he knows exactly where we're heading in this world. And the ultimate goal is world peace for an eternity. That's what he tells me, that these are the end of days and that certain occurrences must happen in order for us to experience peace for an eternity, a joyful world that we all desire. In order to appreciate and enjoy that, we have to go through these hard times and bring it into being. And Donald Trump was God's choice for president. Truly. Is he perfect? No one's perfect. Was he the right choice at this time? Hashem says yes, that he was the right choice and the right president to bring forward his plan for world peace.
Another question that you posed is, if God has the final say-so, why does he allow good people to suffer at the hands of evildoers?
Because we all have free will, and because in any moment we're all choosing the wrong thing. I have suffered at the hands of people choosing the wrong thing, and he allowed it. Here's a perfect example. You're Christian, right? The one you call Jesus, that Hashem calls Yeshua, died in a hideous, horrific way. And he loved Yeshua, but why did he allow something like that to occur? Because he allowed everybody in Yeshua ben Yosef's life to choose free will. And it brought about circumstances that were necessary that evolved into where we are right now. All of it was on purpose. The bringing about of his death brought about the creation of a new world religion called Christianity. And the existence of Christianity and the existence now of Islam and the world religions as they exist now all play into his master plan of a one world, one family solution to world peace, where we all come together under one God, oneness. But before there was world religions, there was chaos and anarchy and paganism. And now we have many, many people who believe in the existence of one omnipotent creator. And it all feeds into right now. It's all on purpose.
You and I have had conversations before about free will, and you have said that we do have free will, we are free to choose, but that we are always accountable for our choices. So then my question is, if we're always accountable, are we really free?
Yes, we're completely free, but we need rules, and we need, just like society needs rules, or there's chaos. So we need to be measured and held accountable. We're held accountable in life even without the knowledge that God is watching us from the time we're small children and we go to school and we're tested and we have to be graded. And throughout school, we ascend and go through grade school and then high school and then college, and we study and we take tests. Life is one gigantic test. And the better we do, the more we succeed. Well, in an invisible way, we're being tested by God, and silently, behind the scenes, we're ascending spiritually. That's truly who we are. And we're being tested in every moment, what kind of person we are, what kind of choices we're making, how are we treating everyone else that surrounds us, and we're accountable for everything that we do.
You mentioned that society works because we follow rules. And it seems like it's human nature to want to know what the rules are because it does make it easier. Like, for example, when you're driving, you want everybody to be following the same driving rules that you're following.
Yes.
So then the question is it in our nature to want to follow God's rules?
He said yes and no. It's also, it becomes our nature when we're incarnate, when we're in a body, that we're suddenly separate, and we have something called an ego, which some people think is good, but it's truly the open pathway for evil to creep in. The ego makes ourselves more important than everybody else. So the separateness, how I'm separate from you, forces me to choose between goodness and God and myself. And that's where the conflict comes in.
So that's really the choice, whether you choose yourself versus a choice between good and evil in every moment.
Repeat that again.
Well, is that really the choice, that whether you choose things that benefit yourself versus the straight black and white good and evil?
That is at the core of why we choose evil, because we're choosing what's best in our own best self-interest. If you peel apart every single sin that we might do, every transgression, at the heart of it is we're choosing selfishness and ourselves over someone else's good. If you give me one little example, or I can give you an example of talking on the cell phone while you're driving, a little one, little transgression. It's more important that I take the call than guard the safety of someone else in the car or the people around me. I need to talk on that phone. In that moment, it's all about me. And that's just a small traffic infraction. Cigarette smoking. It's more important that I sell these cigarettes and make a living than guard the health of the public, because cigarettes are a carcinogen that will cause someone cancer or heart disease.
Where is the self-interest in war and terror?
If you keep peeling it away, it becomes a collective ego, a group ego. It's my country, it's my land, it's my people. It's me against you. Instead of the philosophy that Hashem and that I have in my business plan for peace, called Running on Love, is a we win. We all win. You make a little less money for your charity, but all the charities profit and benefit. If that was the master plan for Running on Love, the charity, let's raise money together. Each individual charity won't raise as much charity for our cause, but we all raise money together, and together we prosper. It didn't fly well in this world because every charity was questioning, why am I giving you 25%? Why am I giving you the top billing? Why are you taking the transaction fee? And why shouldn't I get this fee and that fee? And I want it all for me. And it unraveled. The charity Running on Love was modeled after the way Hashem God thinks. Everybody else first, and we all win in the end. But everybody in this world wants to win for themselves now. I want it now. I don't want to wait till later. And I don't want to share with you.
So extrapolate that again into war and terror. You said it's a collective selfishness, so
Yes.
Explain that.
Explain that. Okay, well, I can talk about, I live in Israel, and we have a holy land called Israel, but the Palestinians call it Palestine. It's their country, but it's our country, and no one wants to relinquish the country. The country is, it's my land. This is my land. Get out. And death to Israel. And, well, Israel's not calling for the death of the Palestinians, but they're saying now, as of today, there's a lot of conflict. Donald Trump just came out and said, Jerusalem is the holy and eternal capital of Israel. And now there's protesting all over the world, and someone just got stabbed in Jerusalem at Central Bus Station today. There's protests and murder, terror. It's my Jerusalem. No, it's my Jerusalem. But if we came together and understood that we're all family, that the Jewish children are Hashem's chosen children, but that the Palestinian people are his children too. There's one Jerusalem, and there's one master plan. And that's where we have to go. We can't decide for ourselves when we came here with a master plan, a blueprint of how this is all supposed to work, how we're all connected as one family, and how we all have to relate to each other and play well together and share.
Where is the self-interest in a terrorist? Aren't they usually performing their act of terror with the belief that they're doing something for their cause?
But it's their cause against everyone else's cause. They need to be right. Where we have to go, Anna Marie, is what's God's plan? Where did we come from? We can't just look at the last 100 years or even the last 2,000 years. We have to go back to the beginning and understand why we're here in the first place. How did we get here? Who are these Jewish people? What were they chosen for? Is Judaism even a religion, or is it a soul identification? It's a soul identification. Would it surprise you at this point, Anna Marie, if I told you Judaism isn't a religion at all? Religion is a creation of mankind, not God.
So then what is Judaism if it's not a religion?
Judaism is a way of life. The Jewish children are, in essence, inherently God's chosen children because they are his firstborn, the first souls of humanity, the oldest souls born in this wildly dysfunctional family called humanity. So truly, everyone else are the children of the original chosen children. They're truly, in their essence, the parents, the forerunners of all of humanity. And so his master plan was to have one beautifully big family made of the same powerful essence as him, God. And it had to start somewhere. So we have to go back to our origin, and we cannot deny where we came from. And then eventually, over thousands of years, he eventually gave his rule book, his playbook. Here's how to have a beautiful and blessed life here on the planet Earth. And he gave those rules to his chosen children, his oldest children, the forerunners of everyone. And they were supposed to be, and they are supposed to be, the light unto the nations, the ones who follow his rules, who took a covenant and a promise. Yes, Hashem God, we will follow your rules. And we will show everyone exactly what you desire. And they fell down and they didn't follow his rules. And this is where the choice between good and evil comes in. He gives us our rules. He erases our conscious mind. And in every moment, we need to keep our promise, even though consciously we don't remember, where it's subliminal. And it all has a purpose. Everything in our lives, everything that comes into this world has a purpose.
So you say that we do have free will, but what is the significance of having free will? Why does it matter whether we have free will or not?
He desires us to be free. We innately desire to be free. We don't desire to be slaves to anyone, including God. And that's where we do fall down. Well, why do I have to keep this Sabbath anyway? Why can't I go to the ball game? So we want to choose, and he gives us a choice. And he wants true love. He wants gratitude, Anna Marie, and true love, just like we all do. But if we were the only act in town, if you were the only woman in the world, how would you know that your husband truly loved you? You're the only one, just by default, right? So he created an alternate energy to himself and made us choose between him and this alternate, this little trickster called the Yetzer Hara, which many people call Satan. It's an invisible energy, and it trips us up all the time, every day and all day long. But when we become stronger and we ascend, we become better at choosing. And believe it or not, even within all the chaos that we see around the world, he says we are better than we ever were, if that's believable.
Really?
Yes, he says that now, at this juncture in humanity, there are more people choosing God and goodness than ever before. Now, if you really think about it, and you believe in the Bible, and you believe in the story of Noah and his ark, you know that that's got to be true. It was so evil and so horrible, he had to wipe out humanity almost completely and start over again.
And when you say there are more people who are choosing good, is that just because there are more people in total? Or is that because percentage-wise, a bigger percentage are choosing good?
He's saying, no, we've evolved. And all of the circumstances over the history of mankind has created us into being the evolved public that we are, even though arguably we don't look like that all the time. Holy smokes, it looks terrible. I cry to him all the time and say, where are the good people? But I know they're there. I've talked to one every week, you. I know there's goodness in the world, but in any moment, people choose the worst behaviors and the worst things. And right now, at this critical juncture of humanity, there's a loud wake-up call, and he's really, the signs are everywhere. Everybody's saying, it's the end of days, it's Bible, it really is. And now we're going to be held extremely accountable, and there's going to be a division line drawn very soon. You're either with God or you're on the other side. And he's going to well, it's really his children, this war, World War III, that's about to happen. It's very frightening. But it's the war between good and evil. There's a division line that's going to be drawn. And those who are against God, the one, they don't think they're against God. They're really choosing evil. But we will know, the people of God will know we're on the right side. And I could tell you right away that he's told me that the United States and Israel will lead the charge for him. He says United States of America is God's country.
I believe that.
Good country. It's been labeled by many evil countries as the country of Satan. But we know that it's the land of the free and the home of the brave. And the United States has done very good things in this world. They've done evil things, but, every person has.
Right.
Right.
So we're at our 2-minute warning now.
Oh.
Last question for you, and that is that I'm older than you are, and it feels to me like since I was a kid that things have gone way downhill. It feels like there's a lot more evil in the world. Is that just my age, or is it harder to choose with our free will because of all the influences that we have?
The world is scarier and much more dangerous than it ever was. You're not imagining it. There's pollution, there's cancer, there's terror, there's war, there's maniacal dictators testing ballistic missiles that can hit anywhere in the United States. It's crazier and worse than ever. But there's a word that he's taught me and used for all these years since my awakening, and it's called a dichotomy. It's both. So while this world is wildly dangerous and worse than it ever was, it's also got the most potential for the greatest good than it ever did. So it's both. We're at this critical juncture where we could completely implode and there's no more, or we can have peace for an eternity. That's how critical this juncture is. And he promises that prophecy is true, that there will be a horrible war, that we're going to have to battle between good and evil, And this will be the final and definitive war. And what will happen after that war is worldwide redemption, peace on earth for the good children of God for an eternity, and an opportunity, he says, to live eternally in our flesh, never grow old, never get sick, and never die. And that just sounds like a fantasy. I will take peace on earth right now. Anything beyond that, we'll see. But I believe there can be peace. And I know I'm wrapping up. I actually forgot this was the last question. But I do believe in peace on earth. I believe we can get it right. And sometimes when you look around, you wonder, how are we getting it so wrong when there's so many good people in any moment? You see such goodness and you wonder, why are we fighting like this? But there is a plan, a master plan, and we have free will to choose in every moment. And I hope that you'll go to my website, lauriemichelle.net, watch these programs. They clue you in on where we're going wrong, how to get it right, and you still have an opportunity to contact me directly and work with me, and I'll help you see where you might be going wrong and how to do it better, because I'm releasing my first book very soon. And those one-on-one appointments, they're going to be history. And hopefully this book will teach you that running on love is the way of the world, and that's our future, a world that runs on love. May there be world peace in our time. God bless you. Sending you lots of love from Israel. God bless you.